What is going on, my Raider people? Well, we're talking the Raiders versus the Chargers this Sunday. I believe it's at 1:30 or 1:25 Pacific time. Now, it has been every single damn weekend. I feel like I'm going to have a fucking heart attack. Seriously, I feel like I'm going to have a fucking heart attack, honestly. But we're talking about the Raiders and the keys to winning against the Chargers. Now, the number one thing I think we need to look into, we're 3-1. We're not 4-1. We're chasing the Broncos. The Broncos are undefeated. We lost to Atlanta, but it was a close game. But what really let us down was the defense. And I think the defense is gelling together moving forward. Nice back-to-back games where the defense really gelled together. Of course, my boy Derek Carr. Derek Carr, to me, it doesn't even sound good come out of my mouth. Derek Carr, to me, is doing these fourth quarters like Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. That is a good thing. Now, I don't want to use Tom Brady as an example, but Derek Carr is able to use the fourth quarter, use his last drive, and really showcase that he is our franchise quarterback. He is potentially our Hall of Fame quarterback. Yes, he is. But the Derek Carr is absolutely magnificent. So the keys to winning against the Chargers is Derek Carr at least getting 2 touchdowns in the game. I think the Chargers are fine. They're dandy. They're not doing very good. But the Raiders, I think Derek Carr needs to at least get 2 touchdowns in the game. And another key reason of winning against the Chargers is our wide receiver. Our wide receivers are absolutely dynamite. They are explosive. I was listening to the NFL radio station on Cyrus Radio, they stated that the wide receiver core at Oakland Raiders is just the best wide receiver core they've seen in all NFL. And if you think about it, we have guys who are big ass playmakers, who are consistent, who you could rely on. Amari Cooper, last season, he dropped a lot of balls, but this season, he's catching a lot of balls. He's making those huge plays. Crabtree, another guy making absolutely fantastic plays. He is a game changer. He caught the 2-point conversion to win the game in our first game. He has hands for days. Amari Cooper is the number one threat, is the number one guy in Oakland. He is the guy that we're going to look down the field for, but when we need that big first down or a touchdown, we look for Crabtree as well because he does have hands for days. Now I have Amari Cooper and wide receiver Jerry Rice right here. Great Jerry Rice. I know he was from 49ers, San Francisco, but he was a Raider at one point, and the dynamic duo what Crabtree and Cooper remind me of is Tim Brown and Jerry Rice. I need a Tim Brown, I know. Absolutely fantastic. That is exactly what we need. And remember Jerry Porter, and who is our third guy? That is Seth Roberts. Seth Roberts. I told my buddy Steven Cordero this. I said his name. Come on, there's a bunch of Steven Corderos anyway. Come on, Steven, you can't hate me on this. I told Steven that, listen, these guys, well, this guy's not here anymore. Let's say Crabtree. Let's say this, Jerry's Crabtree. Crabtree and Cooper are our 1-2. They're our 1-2. They're consistent. They're the one guys that we're going to look for. Derek Carr's going to look at. But the playmaker that changes the game, that gets us back into it, that I was very impressed last season, along with Andre Holmes. I think Andre Holmes could be a good playmaker as well. But Seth Roberts is absolutely dynamite. This is our explosion right here. Seth Roberts is a guy you could look for. He dropped a couple passes last weekend, but I think he's really, when you need him, he's there. And when you really, he caught a couple of touchdowns to really bring us either a score within a score or tie it up the game in general. Seth Roberts last year really impressed me, and I think this year we're using him as the best way we can because we do have 2 badass wide receivers in Amari Cooper and Michael Crabtree. Here's the number one. As I go from the wide receivers, though, I go from the running game. The running game is absolutely abysmal. I think I am so disappointed in the running game this year so far. Jack Del Rio telling us that he was going to run the ball, and that's what I want. I want some grittiness to the Oakland Raiders football team, and they do. They got it. They got some grittiness. They got some dog fights. Every game has been a dog fight, but the difference, what I absolutely love is last season we were competitive, and season before that we were competitive, but we weren't winners. And right now we are winners, and that's what I want in an Oakland Raider team. When that first game, when Jack Del Rio said go for 2, I called that shit. I said, Jack, fuck the extra point, fuck the OT, let's get that win, baby. And I said 2, and he's great minds think alike. You know what I mean? Great minds think alike. But here's the thing: why I think Jack Del Rio is. He's relying a lot on Derek Carr and the wide receiver core, which, by all means, yes, that definitely is something you definitely want to rely on. I mean, it's looking like Peyton Manning out there, with Peyton Manning just throwing it most of the time, with Derek Carr throwing it most of the time. But the thing is, the Raiders have a great runner, Latavius Murray. Latavius Murray is not doing shit. Just because I have him in fantasy doesn't mean that I'm just saying that this guy is absolutely awesome. He will fight for his yards. If you give him touches, he will break one. He will break at least a good 15-yarder. He won't go all the way because Latavius Murray is just not. He's not a Richard. He's definitely not a Richard, all right, or DeAndre Washington. But this guy will fight. He's had touchdowns every single week except last weekend. And the reason being is that this guy runs angry, and that's exactly what we need. We need a guy who will just grind out the yards, make the defense tired, definitely the defensive front tired. And I see we're not giving him touches. I think he only had about 8 touches last weekend. I see what they're going for with Richard and Washington. They're fast. The Richard have breaking that 180-yarder. I mean, they're absolutely. They're killers, man. They could be playmakers if they given the opportunity. I love DeAndre Washington in the passing game, a screen game. I love Richard with getting half the touches as Latavius Murray. But I think our number one running back and our big running back is Latavius Murray. And I think Latavius Murray is just not getting the opportunity he did last season. And last season he did prove that he was good. I think the hands were not there. I think Richard's a better hands person and DeAndre Washington is. But I see play after play where these guys are running into a wall. When I know Latavius Murray, it takes 5 guys to get him down. So that's one of the key things is if Latavius Murray is active on Sunday and he is not suffering from turf toe, I think you hand him the ball. I think you give him touches. But if you're going to run the ball, run it. Don't be shy and back away from it. And I think the play calling, here's another key one of beating the Chargers, the play calling. The play calling is hit or miss every single weekend. I think sometimes it's good, but then sometimes why did they do a draw on a 3rd down and 11? Absolutely crazy, man. I mean, even a 3rd down and 15. If you believe in your wide receiver core and you believe in Derek Carr, why don't you try to get that 1st down? Derek Carr, absolutely phenomenal, not throwing a lot of interceptions, absolutely taking care of the ball. It's not about numbers for Derek Carr. It's about winning the game and providing, and he spreads the ball so well. Walford has been a big-time tight end. I couldn't believe he came in to the picture, and he's been so dominant throughout for the Raider passing game when he needs to be. So I think the playmaking, the play calling needs to just be a little bit much better. I mean, these draws, these screens are not fooling anybody. They're not really producing much. They're not going anywhere. So I think if you're going to do some simple play calling when it comes to the running game and just run it up the middle or at least a blast or something like that. I mean, just absolutely just to miss the play. And then off of a shotgun, no, you get under center and you hand the ball to your running back and you get those yardage. And the running back's way too far back. Latavius Murray, I'm looking at you. You need to get a little bit closer, buddy. Overall, I think the Raiders, and then there's 3rd downs. Here's another key thing. There's 3rd down and 1. 3rd down and 1. We need to run it in. We need to run it and get that 1st down. There's been a couple of times where we weren't able to produce a 1st down, even though it's 3rd down and 1 in the running game. So I think the running game is very poor, and we need to just fix that. If we tweak that in the running game and we're able off to the races, I think this team is dangerous and we're Super Bowl bound. But we need to have both passing game and running game in full effect. Now, I say Super Bowl bound, and that's a big statement, and we can be a Super Bowl competitive team if. Here's my other key to winning against the Chargers. The defense. Now, this is the main big key about Oakland Raiders versus the San Diego Chargers is that Phillip Rivers is going to throw the ball. Phillip Rivers throws the ball. Oakland Raiders secondary, not very good. Pass rush defense, not very good. We haven't been able to sack the quarterback, and that is Phillip Rivers is not the most mobile guy. We're going to be able to get to him, and I think this is the game that we finally say, enough's enough. Let's get some sacks. Let's get the ball to the offense as soon as possible, because there's been many third downs and many times the offense on the other team converted for a first down conversion. So the Oakland Raider defense, as much as you're gelling, you're still not where you need to be. You're not where all that money has been thrown at you needs to be. So with the main absolutely key is get to the quarterback. If Phillip Rivers is not pressured, if Phillip Rivers is not knocked down, if he's not hurried, if he's not sacked at least 4 or 3 times, it's been a dismal day for the Oakland Raiders defense, because that Oakland Raiders rush defense is absolutely, where are you? Where are you, Khalil Mack? Khalil Mack really had a solid game last weekend, which I was very, very happy to hear his name being called a couple of times. Let's get another solid game from him this time. Malcolm Smith didn't practice today, but I'm expecting him to be on the field come Sunday. Malcolm Smith, where are you at? You do force some fumbles, but I need more fumbles for you, baby. I need more INTs. Pardon the interruption. INTs. I need more INTs from Sean Smith, man. Sean Smith, you know what? The first 2 weeks, rough on you, buddy, but now you're picking up the slack. I hope you're getting your groove back, Sean Smith. I hope you are getting your groove back. My boy, Reggie Nelson. I love this pickup. Reggie Nelson is there every single play. He is absolutely awesome on the Raiders defense. I think he has done a fantastic job. There is a couple plays here and there that he misses, but I think out of all the pickups, he has been a great pickup. Bruce Irvin, man, where are you at? You have not, Bruce Irvin, you are the one I believe you caused the fumble the first weekend. Where are you at? Where are you at, buddy? You're nowhere to be found. So it's very disappointing to see these guys, and they're not delivering as crucial hits and just being playmakers as they should be. But I think Reggie Nelson is doing fine for the Raiders, and I think Kyle Joseph, this guy being number 42, starting, big hitter, every time I see a play with him, he's there as well. He's like Reggie Nelson. He's there for the play. He's doing some great tackling. He is not hitting with the shoulder. He's wrapping up, and he's able to get the guy down. And that's the other key thing is to do is when a wide receiver, because you know they're going to catch it in San Diego. Once they catch it, do not allow them to gain more yards than they should. If you keep them at bay and you keep them on those short passes, I think you'll be fine, but do not allow the big play. So Raiders, please do not allow the big play and get to the quarterback, Phillip Rivers, and I think you guys are coming away with a up 2 scores win. I don't think the San Diego Chargers are just not in our level. I think it is our time. So that is my keys to winning against the San Diego Chargers. Establish the run game. Don't worry about the passing game, because the passing game is always going to be there. Make some better play calling decisions on the offense, and also get to the quarterback for the defensive rush. I'm looking at you. Couple more get some takeaways, at least one, and I think we'll be solid through the game. But here's the thing, do not allow the big plays. If you allow the big plays, we are in trouble, and we're going to be coming back once again this weekend. So thank you guys for listening. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. We're going to be talking Just Win Baby podcast is coming back. This is just really talking about the Raiders versus the Chargers and the keys to win. But when we talk about Just Win Baby podcast, we're going to be talking about that awesome win we're going to have in San Diego. I'm predicting that we are going to be winning by at least I want to say 2 scores. So it's not going to be 2 touchdowns, but a touchdown and a field goal. I think we're going to have a good lead, and so we don't have to sweat it out. But if the Chargers are able to do the big plays and the defense does suffer once again, then I believe the Raiders will they'll lose by 3, but I'm predicting that we will win by 2 scores. So thank you guys for listening. Go Raider Nation. It is our time. I'm so happy with Derek Carr's play. I'm so happy with the wide receiver core. I'm so happy of the grittiness, the mean side to this Oakland Raider defense. This is the kind of our defense overall team. This is the kind of grittiness I want from this team. This is the kind of fucking go at them, don't care. I want to win. I don't want to compete. I want to win, and that's what the motto is, baby. Just win, baby. Look for me on Sunday for the Just Win Baby podcast. I'm Dan Megan Daniel's son, and next time we're going to be talking the Raiders, and hopefully they'll win. Bye, guys.